All right, guys, let's hit it up. We're gonna cover some college football head coaching news. Once again, I'll say this, for a lot of the rest of the videos, I said it a couple days ago. But Mike Leach, thinking about Mike Leach, thinking about him, thinking about his family today. Gonna say that a lot during the show. He's one of my favorites and a true original with college football. But today we're going to talk about Ryan Walters. He is going from Illinois with Brett Bielema, and he was crucial for Illinois' success. They have Chase Brown, who's a really good running back. Barry Lunney is the OC there, and Barry was with Jeff Traylor. Barry Lunney was the interim coach at Arkansas a couple of years ago, so he's with Brett Bielema. But really, Ryan Walters has earned this spot. He's been a coaching lifer, even at the young age of 36 years old. So, Ryan Walters being in Illinois, I mean, this is a football team this year that's 8-4 and really had an impressive year. They lost to Michigan, but they just had several big wins. Looked really strong this past year. I wanted them to play Michigan again in Indianapolis because they were on the verge of maybe even beating Michigan. I mean, they beat Illinois. They beat Wisconsin like 34-10. Essentially, got Paul Chryst fired in that game. So, if we look at the highlights of Illinois this year, their defense was really, really solid. And then from 2015 to about 2020, he was the defensive coordinator with Barry Odom. Also, I don't know what was it, Gary Pinkel? I don't know if Pinkel was there at the end. I think it was Barry Odom. But I'll tell you guys Illinois' schedule. I mean, the one loss that they regret is losing in Bloomington 23-20 to Indiana. But again, this defense was really, really solid. They play fundamental football. I don't think that they blitz a whole ton, but they're really good tacklers. And in the Big Ten Conference, you're going now from Illinois to Purdue. So about the Big Ten West, and it's a logical landing spot because Walters went to Colorado, was an LA guy. All right. Born in LA, but then went to Colorado, actually was babysitted by Eric Bieniemy, was a good player at Colorado, then worked Colorado, Arizona before coming out really to Missouri. He really found his home at Missouri from 2015 to 2020. So he's been in Missouri, he's been in Illinois, and now he's going to go over to Indiana at Purdue in West Lafayette. So it makes so much sense from a logical perspective. And Purdue's they go from Jeff Brom, and they're getting one of the natural risers in the coaching world, and Ryan Walters, a guy who's very highly regarded, guy who's known as a people person. People respect Ryan Walters. So I'm excited about this hire for Purdue. They did a really nice job. I mean, Jeff Brom left him a little bit late in the process, but you understand Brom going back to Louisville. And I like this hire for Purdue as well. Now, let's just be real as real can be about Purdue. Their basketball program is incredible with Matt Painter right now. They had Jaden Ivey. Of course, you have the big guy Edey, Travion Williams. So basketball, they're really, really good. In Indiana, it's Notre Dame State. The state of Indiana is Notre Dame football. Purdue with Drew Brees and Teller, or Joe Tiller, they were good back in the 2000s. Purdue under Jeff Brom, was able to throw the ball around the last several years and made kind of a splash. But in terms of like NIL, in terms of like all the money that Purdue might have, Louisville has a lot more money. That's why Jeff Brom also went back home. So in the Big Ten West, like it isn't a perennial power. So how good of a job is Purdue? I think it's an all right job. It's still in the Big Ten Conference. You're not going to have the most NIL money. I believe, actually, if we look at the Big Ten West, Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin have more money baked in the football than probably Purdue does in West Lafayette. But West Lafayette's a nice college town to live in, and it's cozy, and it's a good spot for Ryan Walters. So you look at Purdue, it's still a heck of a lot better than Indiana. It's better than a lot of ACC jobs, and being in the Big Ten, it's pretty dang good. It's better job than Rutgers, than Maryland, than Indiana. It's actually less expectation than Michigan State, and also baked into a pretty good spot. You can recruit Indianapolis. You get Ohio to recruit as well. And it's a job. It's a really solid fan base, great fan base, I would say, at Purdue. I would say a really good fan base, but one that I think is healthy. It's not like unrealistic expectations at Purdue. They'll support their program, and it's a program where you should try to go 8-4. If you get to 9, that's incredible. But it's 7-5, 8-4 are pretty good years. You're going to have your 6-6, your 5-7s along the way, and then if you get lightning in a bottle. Then you can hit your 10 or 11 wins. It's going to be a tough job for Walters to win the West, because I believe that Nebraska got better with Matt Rule, and I also believe that Minnesota and P.J. Fleck are tough. Iowa and Kirk Ferentz, they're always really tough. And then Wisconsin with Luke Fickell is kind of resurging themselves and trying to recreate themselves into the mix there. So it's a tough job. It's not the easiest job. I think Nebraska is even like a much bigger NIL destination, or much bigger expectations, but Purdue could be a really nice spot. And for Ryan Walters, you're becoming a head coach there. If you do a great job at Purdue, you could get a phenomenal job in the SEC or something. But for the sake of this video, I hope Purdue's really good. And I'm excited for the Big Ten overall, and I'm excited for Walters overall, and I'm happy that he gets this opportunity. He's deserved it. He's been a solid DC at Missouri for a really long time. Even in 2021, after Missouri, he would be qualified for this role. And then after his job at Illinois, that Brett Bielema, that they did, I mean, they had an 8-4 year. Their game, they lost to Michigan State at home. That really hurt them. But they actually beat Iowa 9-6, and then they went on the road and beat Minnesota. And DeVito was hurt during some of those years. But, I mean, Chase Brown was a phenomenal running back. He could have honestly been in New York. He was right up there with Zach Corum as being a great running back. But, hey, you start to look at these statistics, and this defense was freaking good at Illinois this year. All right, so again, Ryan, congratulations to Ryan Walters going to Illinois.